I was at an industry event, and one of the waiters there, catering, started talking to me, and we talked about film a bit. And by the end of the evening, he said to me, "You're going to make a film about my life." And that waiter turned out to be Prak.
When I met Lee, it was 2009, and that's when my father had passed away. So that whole story was featured in the script that I had written. When I told him, he was very moved about it. And
when I heard his story, I was moved. It was dramatic. I could see how it would fit into the short film format. So we immediately made the film. People signed on. Barbet Schroeder, my longtime colleague, signed on as executive producer. The film kind of achieved critical mass. Nancy Schreiber, who shot over 70 movies, was the cinematographer. We had quite a crew who just came and got involved with the story, and now here's the movie.
I know it is what you make it. Only the brave will be the one to take it. Holding me down, watching me drown. Guess I was dreaming American.
I grew up in a very small village in Albania. So I moved from there when I was 16 years old because my parents were very poor and I wanted to send an income to them. So I moved here in 2001 and I never had the opportunity to go to school. I thought, like it's really hard, but I really want to go to school. I want to educate myself. I want to become somebody one day.
What really caught my attention about the story was how long Prak had been here, how he'd survived by his wits without documents, how difficult that struggle is, how you're a non-person in this country if you don't have a social security number, and how you really have to find a way to sort of fit in, sort of in between the different structures. Within that, he had a very specific dream. He had a big dream, a difficult dream, certainly one that I had pursued, being an actor. I was born here, I was raised here, I went to fancy schools here. So for him, to try to achieve something so difficult, I thought was really admirable.
I love you. Nice.
I think the most difficult moment was when I lost my parents. I mean, they were everything to me. And when I used to work in restaurants, for example, I used to, like holidays, are always touching when you're alone and you always want to be with your loved ones. And being there and serving the customers and everyone's there with their parents or their wife or kids or whatever the case might be. And I always just was saying to myself, like, oh my God, one is going to be that day for me, that I can take my mom out or my dad out and give them a dinner or take him out for a walk, or just be together with your loved ones. And
in making the film, I wanted to present one young man's experience in the hope that the audience would have the same experience seen through the prism of his eyes, his dreams, his aspirations, his tribulations. And the next time that they encountered the issue of immigration or other immigrants with other stories, they would have some emotional experience from having seen our film that would help them have a greater understanding of the larger issue.
These relationships is crazy, baby. Trust me, this country will nothing. Everything in life, well, it ain't always what you bargain for. People change.
Well, I think actually the most exciting moment was when I got my social, because I always wanted to go to school. I wanted to study and learn everything. Education is power. The first day I got my social, the next day I went to BMCC and I registered for a student to come here full-time.
Through my experience working with Prak, and I've come to have a greater understanding of what people go through, immigrants both with and without their papers in this country. And we hope the film is entertaining, simply as a narrative, as a drama, and we hope that within that there also comes some kind of an emotional connection to our character and some sense of what he's going through. And because his story is unique, there are so many people with unique stories. There are so many students at BMCC, so many students at CUNY.
My dream is to finish college, and what I want to work on is I want to work in a book that will inspire young kids to if you have a dream, you can definitely reach that dream. You just gotta work really hard for it and believe in yourself that you can do it.
So-called friends a jerk, you bring them in your inner circle. Once they learn your weaknesses, that's when they begin to hurt you.
Dream made